With Donald Trump re-emerging as a major political force in the United States, many analysts are closely watching what a potential return to the White House could mean for global trade dynamics. Known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy and economics, Trump's administration from 2017 to 2021 significantly altered international trade relationships, particularly through the use of tariffs and aggressive trade renegotiations. For multinational corporations, especially those in industries like agriculture and manufacturing, a second Trump presidency could present both new challenges and uncertainties. One such company that could feel the ripple effects is KIH, a leading manufacturer in the agricultural machinery sector. Although KIH is a hypothetical company in this scenario, it represents firms like John Deere, AGCO, and CNH Industrial, American-based businesses with global footprints. These companies rely heavily on international trade for both sourcing components and exporting finished products. Any shift in trade policy, particularly one involving tariffs or protectionist measures, could dramatically impact their operations. During his first term, President Trump launched a large-scale trade war with China, aiming to reduce the U.S. trade deficit and bring manufacturing jobs back to American soil. His administration imposed tariffs on over $360 billion worth of Chinese goods, citing unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, and state subsidies. In response, China retaliated with tariffs of its own, targeting over $110 billion worth of U.S. exports, including key agricultural products such as soybeans, pork, and corn. This tit-for-tat tariff battle had far-reaching consequences. American farmers suffered due to lost access to the Chinese market, and many agricultural equipment manufacturers saw reduced sales, particularly in export-dependent regions. The Trump administration attempted to mitigate these losses by issuing billions in aid to U.S. farmers, but the long-term uncertainty discouraged investments and planning in the agriculture sector. If Donald Trump were to return to office and revive similar trade strategies, companies like KIH could face several key risks. Firstly, higher production costs due to tariffs on imports. A large portion of the components and raw materials used in manufacturing agricultural machinery are sourced from international suppliers, especially from China, Japan, South Korea, and Germany. These parts include sensors, semiconductors, hydraulic systems, and precision tools. If tariffs were reimposed or expanded on Chinese and other foreign imports, the cost of these components could rise significantly. This would force companies to either absorb the cost increases, leading to slimmer profit margins, or pass them on to consumers, making their products more expensive. For farmers already struggling with rising fuel, fertilizer, and labor costs, pricier equipment could be a major burden. Secondly, disruption of supply chains. Global supply chains are intricate and often span multiple countries. Tariffs can disrupt these chains, not only by increasing costs, but also by creating delays and regulatory complications. For KIH, any disruption in acquiring critical components could slow down production cycles, delay deliveries, and reduce the company's ability to meet seasonal agricultural demands. Moreover, since agricultural machinery is often tailored to specific harvest windows, even small delays in manufacturing or logistics can lead to major revenue losses for both the company and its customers. Loss of competitive edge in foreign markets. European countries represent a major market for U.S. agricultural equipment. The European Union has previously signaled that it would respond to unilateral U.S. trade measures with its own tariffs. For example, in response to Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs in 2018, the EU imposed retaliatory duties on a wide range of American goods, from motorcycles to agricultural products. If a similar scenario unfolds again, companies like KIH could find themselves at a disadvantage compared to local European manufacturers who wouldn't face the same additional tariffs. This would erode KIH's competitiveness in key export markets and could lead to a decline in international sales. Reduced investment in innovation. One of the most concerning potential side effects of increased costs and reduced revenues is a pullback in research and development. Agricultural machinery is undergoing a technological revolution, with trends moving toward automation, GPS-guided equipment, precision farming, and AI-based monitoring tools. Staying ahead in this space requires significant investment in innovation. If companies like KIH are forced to divert funds to manage trade-related expenses, it could limit their ability to innovate. This, in turn, would hurt long-term competitiveness, especially against companies in Europe or Asia that continue to invest in smart farming technologies. The U.S. agriculture industry doesn't operate in a vacuum. It is deeply interconnected with global markets, and changes in trade policy, especially by a country as influential as the US, have ripple effects worldwide. A return to rigid protectionist policies could strain relationships with key allies, spark new trade wars, and destabilize global commodity markets. While some sectors might benefit from stronger domestic protections, others, like high-tech agriculture, may suffer due to their reliance on global integration. For American farmers, the situation becomes even more complex. On one hand, protectionist policies might reduce foreign competition. On the other, losing access to export markets or paying more for equipment could squeeze profit margins further. Many farmers today already operate on tight budgets, and the added uncertainty could discourage long-term investment in equipment or land. It's important to note that no official trade policy has been implemented yet under a second Trump presidency, as he is still a candidate. However, based on his previous record and recent statements, there is reason to believe that a return to aggressive tariff strategies could be on the table. While supporters argue that such policies protect American jobs and industries, critics warn that they often lead to retaliation, higher costs, and economic instability. Companies like KIH, which rely on international supply chains and foreign markets, would likely be among the first to feel the impact. In summary, the potential return of Donald Trump to the White House could reshape international trade policies in ways that may create new hurdles for globally connected American companies. For firms in the agricultural machinery sector like KIH, this could mean higher production costs, supply chain disruptions, lost market share abroad, and reduced capacity for innovation. The broader agricultural industry could also be affected, as farmers and agribusinesses navigate increased costs and trade uncertainty. While some measures might be intended to bolster domestic manufacturing, the interconnected nature of the modern economy means that any significant policy change comes with both intended and unintended consequences. What are your thoughts on this evolving situation? Drop your comments below, hit the like button if you found this analysis insightful, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global economics, trade, and the world of agricultural technology. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next